back. You're listening to Find It Extra on talkSPORT 2. Adi Oladipo, the great Gareth Davies. All right, big fight for Tyson Fury, December 21st. Will it be a case of repeat or revenge? For Tyson Fury, he's hoping revenge, and he's feeling very, very confident ahead of the Usyk rematch.
My rematch with people is always ends up one way. I always end up knocking them out in the rematch. Whoever I've faced more than once has been knocked out in the rematch. So I'm envisaging something similar in the second fight with Usyk. All I can do is prepare well, train hard, eat well, go to bed early, wake up early, do the right things, listen to people around me, and the rest is in God's hands. And last time in May, it wasn't my time to win, or else the Almighty would have given me the victory. And I'm very happy that Usyk got the decision, because God's timing is not late, it's not imperfect, it's perfection. So that was meant to be, and we're going to find out what's going to be meant to be in December the 21st. I believe it will be my time this time, and I believe that all things that happen, negative or positive, are lessons. We must learn from the things that we go through in our lives, and we can only do the best we can do as human beings and as boxers and as fathers and as husbands and everything else. We can only do the best we can do as men. And that what we know how to do best is go in there and knock the fuck out of each other in a fight and to put on a show for the paying customer.
Tyson Fury, confident. I thought, by the way, Gareth, and you were there at London Guildhall. I thought he looked a bit slimmer than we normally see him sort of a few weeks out from a fight. Or was that just the TV working its magic on me? I thought he looked a bit lighter.
I think he told me he's 20 stone. 20 or 21 stone, but obviously he's just going into camp for 6.5 weeks now anyway, ahead of fight week on December the 14th, as it will be, to the 21st. I was very fortunate on the day. I had a big sit down with him with the Nationals. Then I had a step-in interview with Box Nation TV. Then I had a bit of time with him, around him, a little photo shoot, and with a chat to Shane and Huey. I had a lot of time with the Fury firm, if you like. A big chat to Spencer Brown, his manager, and a lot of people behind the scenes. He's in a really good frame of mind. And when you think, I think he's dealt very well with the defeat. I don't think there are signs of huge grieving around it. There may be reasons for that, and we can go into it in a minute. But I think he's watched the fight back. I remember writing this after the event. A rematch was definitely on the cards, because there's a lot he can take from the first 7 rounds, an awful lot.
Agreed.
And from the last 2 rounds, by the way. But in the middle, 8, 9 and 10 were difficult rounds for him. Probably the hardest rounds he's had since the first fight with Deontay Wilder. There's a lot there. I thought that both men were very respectful. I think the mind games have gone out the window now, and obviously Oleksandr Usyk was playing his own mind games, Addy, with the hitman stance and the staging. That was fantastic. We didn't hear much from Usyk, but we didn't really need to hear much from them, because this is now not about undisputed anymore. It's about the championship of each other in the second fight, and it comes down to a boxing match now, and it's not about mind games anymore.
It's interesting you say not about mind games, because Tyson Fury's been the king of the mind games, I think, for years. I remember, that, what was it, the second or third Wilder fight, where Wilder wore headphones at the press conference because he didn't want to hear anything Tyson Fury had to say. And now it's almost gone a bit full circle, where someone's playing mind games with him. And for me, it was quite interesting, because we've seen Tyson Fury come out in characters, the Batman character when he was going to fight Vladimir Klitschko. And now all of a sudden, there's someone playing mind games with him, and it's interesting to see how Tyson Fury takes it. But I agree with you. Although that's Usyk trying to play mind games, I think these two are so experienced and past that, it's not going to work. It doesn't even filter through. I thought Usyk was menacing. It looks a bit big, I thought, Usyk, by the way. He looked a bit round-faced, although he will make his 222-pound weight limit. But I thought, I can't wait for it. And I'm with you, by the way. I think a lot of people just seem to remember round 9 of that fight and say, Usyk won it easy. No. If you're listening to this right now, go and rewatch the fight. It was razor thin.
It was.
Razor thin.
And it was brutal as well. Fight. And brutal.
Brutal. Usyk went in an ambulance after. So Frank said that. And I think people kind of thought Frank was just sticking up for his guy. No. Oleksandr Usyk went into an
For a
ambulance
brain
after, went to
scan.
the hospital for a brain scan. That's how brutal that fight was. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's going to be brutal again. It's going to be fantastic again. And I can't wait for it. I think we have something special December 21st.
Yeah, like you say, we waited till 4 a.m. to speak to Usyk because he went for that brain scan, but he wanted to come and do the press conference. I think I remember going to bed at 10 a.m. after that fight, after all the interviews and going back and so on. When I sat with Tyson Fury, I do these step-in interviews for Box Nation TV now. I've done a few of them. I stepped in with Tyson Fury. It's done a lot of views as well. I said to him,
All right. Of course, it's done views. It's
no,
Gareth Davies.
it's nothing to do with me. It's all to do with Tyson Fury, and how good he was on the day. Because I said to him, the optics, exactly that. I said that to him, and I sat with him. That the optics are that round 9, but you almost got too comfortable by round 6 and 7. He said the word is complacency, Gareth, and to hear him say that. You know he's going to make the adjustments. You know also that he had a cut eye going into that rescheduled fight. So regardless of, they said, no, we did normal sparring. From here up will have been a concern in sparring, and it won't have been so hard and sharp. Those kind of adjustments will be made this time. He will be more conditioned. They do know the last third of the fight is really important against Oleksandr Usyk. I really do feel that we're going to get a very similar fight and it's going to be razor tight again. I really do. I think both men are going to give everything. And Fury, win, lose or draw, will go in there and will go out on his shield. Maybe a little bit more aggressive a little earlier. Maybe coming forward rather than fighting off the back foot as he did for the first 2 or 3 rounds.
That being said, and look, I think if you ask 100 boxing journalists, I think they'll say exactly the same thing. The fight's going to be razor thin. It's going to be razor close. That being said, why is nothing being spoken about with regards to a third Tyson Fury and Usyk fight, as opposed to Fury AJ? Like, I think it could be 1-1 come the evening of December 21st. And I think I would then like to see, a trilogy fight. I wonder if the public would like to see a trilogy fight.
Oh, it's inevitable.
Would like to see
it's
Fury
inevitable.
AJ. No, I mean next.
It's inevitable that they have a trilogy fight because if Tyson...
No, it's inevitable if Fury wins. If Usyk wins 2, there's not going to be a third.
No, I agree. But you think you want one regardless of the outcome?
No, I want one. I want a third if it's one apiece,
yeah,
as opposed to Fury going to AJ.
We will get that. There's no question. Okay. But we might get AJ against Fury in between. I'm thinking. Because if I was with a promoter's hat on, I'd go have a little rest, Usyk. Because AJ is not fighting Dubois now, we understand, next, which I have readily said the whole way along. It's on record. It doesn't make sense. Sit out and wait to see what happens between Fury and Usyk. And even if Fury wins a razor-tight decision this time, let's have Fury and Joshua next, and then the rematch with Usyk to decide the winner of the era if Fury has beaten Anthony Joshua. Because we don't want to lose that fight. We've already lost, it looks like, we've already lost Joshua against Wilder in this era because it's too late and we're not going to see them at their best against each other. But there's one other thing that I feel that we need to talk about is, I'll let you raise it, but Tyson and his wife Paris, that may have had an effect. I think it may have had an effect in the last fight, even though Furious pointedly said, because I asked him the question in the sit-down about were they having more children, and then he made that disclosure about what had happened in fight week where Paris hadn't travelled out. They had lost a child very late in the pregnancy. And that's where he really showed himself to be human. And it wasn't about him. And he pointedly said what was difficult looking back on it, because he didn't actually know, because Paris kept it from him that she was losing the child, was he felt sorry that as a father and a husband, he wasn't there. And I think that really speaks volumes about him, because he's such a family man. Outside being the alter ego of the Gypsy King, he's a family guy. He's just a family guy. I love that.
No, no, no. And look, with regards to whether or not it had an impact on the fight, I mean, in this sort of high level chess, I mean, it's all about small margins, and there's no way sort of your wife having a miscarriage wouldn't affect you mentally going into something as big as
But
this.
he didn't
So
know
look,
about it, Addy, because she kept it from him. But he would have had a doubt in his mind as he said, why is Paris not coming? Because her blood pressure's so high. I hope she's okay. He didn't know about the child, said she kept it from him, which is extraordinary.
it is, it
But
is,
and he was
it is.
at pains to point out that when he steps into the ring, he's just so single-minded. And he wants to make this clear in our chat. He's so single-minded when he fights. Nothing else is in his head. And I do believe that as well. But
Yeah.
you may be right with your psychology on it. You may be right.
Who knows, man? What we do know is that come December 21st, two of the best are going to duke it out again. And I feel like Tyson Fury has now got so much respect for Oleksandr Usyk as well. I remember before it was the gap-toothed middleweight, and now all of a sudden those type of conversations and lyrics have been kind of put to one side. I think he knows now that he's in there with someone that is equally as good as him as a boxer and mentally as strong as him as well. So look, I think it's going to be fascinating. I really do. And I think one thing I do want to quickly say, and I said this on my YouTube channel, I just want to quickly point it out here. I'm going to miss Tyson Fury when Tyson Fury's sort of says, you know what, enough's enough, and hangs up the gloves.
He's a unique character. He's a showman. We don't have people that sing in the ring. He's the most entertaining in-ring figure in boxing, and certainly in the heavyweight division, I think, since Muhammad Ali. Bob Arum has said the same. Like you say, he will leave a huge gap, as will Anthony Joshua, in a completely different way, as will Oleksandr Usyk. We are in a halcyon period for the heavyweight division. All the people that say, oh, it's not the golden era of heavyweights. It's a golden era for us. It's a golden era for boxing right now. You've been around long enough to know that in the last year, and today is the 1 year, 1 day anniversary of Battle of the Baddest in Saudi Arabia. This is the 1 year, 1 day anniversary of a huge change in our sport.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.